excited about starting practice on this beautiful day in Lafayette. We're excited about our 6 weeks that we have coming up to work. We've got plenty of time to get our offense and defensive philosophies in, our game plans in, and get ready for our first game, which will be an exhibition game at Mississippi College on Monday, November the 9th, as Matt just alluded to. We've got a challenging schedule. It should be a lot of fun. It's difficult in the fact that we start with 6 of 9 on the road, and we start conference at 5 of 6 on the road. So we're going to have to be road tested early, and I feel like having a senior group that we'll be able to get that accomplished. We've got a good group of players returning, headed by our 5 seniors and preseason MVP in most publications, Sean Long, who had a good summer, as Matt talked about, winning a bronze medal, being one of only 7 collegians that made the Pan American team this past summer while competing in Toronto. Also Jay Wright, a 3rd team all-conference performer last year, has had a really good summer and feel like he's grown as a player and as a point guard. And then we've added several newcomers as well that we're excited about and look forward to working with starting today.
We'll open up for questions.
Y'all have had the international trips last year and so forth. Not having that this year, does it sort of put you almost a little bit behind going into practice, or are you still?
No, not at all, Dan. We had some international trips. They were all just individual. I didn't get to go on one. Coach Hauser got to take Scotty Plaisance on a trip, and then Bryce Washington and Jonathan Stowe were able to represent athletes in action and compete in New Zealand for 15 days. Of course, Sean got to go and play with the Pan American Games in Toronto, and then Jay Wright went on the Sports Reach trip to the Far East, the same trip that Oakland Payton took a couple years ago. We have 10 days of practice now in the summertime that we used to not have years ago. That's added in by the NCAA, and if the guys are in school, we certainly can practice a couple hours per week. So we're able to get some team practices in the summer, which will be beneficial and are beneficial in moving forward.
Coach, you mentioned that Wright had an opportunity to go travel this summer and play in the same opportunity that Alfred had. I know you're really officially starting practice tomorrow, but what have you seen from him from the maturity standpoint, just from that trip, and how much of an effect it's had on him?
With Jay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we start practice today. Jay has really matured. He's done a good job working on his game. He's shooting the ball a little bit better. We're trying to increase his free throw percentage. He's certainly aggressive. He's going to get to the line a lot, as our team is, hopefully again this year. He's worked on a floater in the off-season, ability to score when some bigger defenders are in the paint and you can't get all the way to the basket. Shot a good 3-point percentage last year. I think he was right at 40% for us and had some big games. But he has definitely matured and grown, and feel good about where he is right now leading our program. I'm glad he's got 2 years instead of 1, like most junior college players would have had.
Out of these newcomers coming in, who maybe are you kind of really excited to see? Jay Davis sounds like, or no, not Jay Davis.
Jarikas Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, first of all, Jay Hedgeman is a guy that is a junior college player from Pearland High School, who played for Steve Buckaloo, former Louisiana Tech coach over in Texas, a very good basketball coach, and then he went and played at San Jacinto College for 2 years for Scott Jernander, a former player and graduate assistant coach of mine at Sam Houston State. Jay's 6'7", 200, got great length. He's very good defensively, can guard 1 through 5, a good rebounder, good teammate, just a good 3-point shooter. I think he's going to add a lot of versatility to our team. He can play multiple positions. Another junior college player, Tyrone Wooten from Memphis Tresvant, by way of Itawamba Community College in Mississippi, is a 6'3" guard that can score the ball. He's got great speed, great defensive player. Had a good summer for us and has had an even better fall. So we're excited about those 2 older guys. And Jarikas Davis is a freshman that we've got to bring along. He's very talented. He can score the ball. He's got to learn how to work hard in the college game, knowing it's going to be stronger and more physical and a little bit faster pace. But he's a guy that we're excited about. And also Kadavian Evans had a great summer, and we're excited about him. He's got to gain some strength. He's about 5'10", 165. He's got to get stronger, but he can really shoot the ball. He's a coach's son, has a great feel for the game, and we're excited about what he brings to our team as well.
What's the biggest challenge or the biggest question you need answered in these next 6 weeks before the opener?
Just come together as a team. We had team building exercises last week. Met with all the players individually. We've done some sports psychology testing. We're always looking at ways to get better. And we just need to come together, continue to protect our culture that we've created here moving forward, and give ourselves a chance to get through the early part of the road schedule.
Is there one player, excuse me, of the returners that you're hoping or expecting to make a big leap? You've always had that one player that really kind of elevates his game for a season. Is there one that maybe you can kind of single in on right now?
I hope there's several, Travis. Jonathan Stove's a guy that really did a good job with athletes in action, as well as Bryce. But Kelly Combs, the coach of that group, called me. He was really impressed with Jonathan, and Jonathan's had a very good fall practice as we're getting into October now and getting ready for official practice. So he's one guy that I think can step it up. Devontae Walker had a very good summer as well, and very consistent. And we like the way he finished the year last year, and also the way he's going into this year.
What is the expectation to come with all the experience and all 5 starters back?
The expectations for us are the same, Tim, as they always are, is to win all our home games, win the conference championship, win the NCAA tournament, or win the conference tournament, go to the NCAA tournament in advance. So, I mean, no one puts more realistic expectations on our program than we do. And it'll be difficult. We better play a very challenging schedule, tough RPI schedule that hopefully will make us better. And then we got 20 games in the conference again, where we start with 5 and 6 on the road. So it'll be a grind as always, and it'll probably come down the last weekend or so like it usually does.
Coach, speaking of coach's sons, you have an opportunity. Your son's in the program. Talk a little bit about that opportunity to have him here with you. We've seen it with Coach Robichaux. Coach Latif has his daughter. Coach Hudd has his son. But just having your son here and being part of the program.
Well, it's a good opportunity. I left him as a senior in high school and left him behind. And he did not have a good senior year, and I blame myself for that in some ways, that I wasn't there to support him and be at every game. He played well as a junior and didn't have a great senior year. Kind of lost his desire to play a little bit, and has worked every day and played every day. He's in great shape. He was at University of Texas playing noon ball at Gregory Gym every day against Vince Young and some of the guys that were in there playing with him. And he wanted to come back and try to play, walk on, help run our scout team and compete. And he's done a good job. He had a really good fall shooting the basketball. He's strong. Unfortunately, he's got my quickness, so that doesn't help him any. But he's a smart player, and it's going to be exciting. You know, he was in the locker room when we beat Georgia State over at Lakefront Arena, and then the next week when we played McDermott and his son at Creighton, he was in the locker room as well at San Antonio. So it'll be fun having him around every day and watching him grow as a player and as a person.
You coached this year with all the experience compared to breaking in a new point guard and trying to find a rotation, which may carry over from last year.
Yeah, it should be a little bit easier to go this year. You know, I kind of compare it to football a little bit. Coaches play quarterbacks, different quarterbacks, trying to find the right guy for the program. And we were under that situation a year ago with Jay Wright, Casey, and Tremont Williams, playing all 3 of those guys. And we'll continue to do that, but Jay stepped up to the front. So we feel good about that position moving forward, Dave.
When you look at leadership, going into last year, replacing Alfred was kind of the thing, saying, okay, who's going to be that next leader? Having those 5 returning starters, does that make that job a little easier because people kind of know who the leaders are going into the preseason?
Yeah, we talked about this as individual meetings last week with the players, and we talked about it as a staff. And having 5 seniors, 6 now with Matt being here, but 5 returning seniors who all are good leaders. I mean, Casey's played as a freshman. Steve's played for 4 years. Devontae's in the program for a year as well as Tutu. And then you've got Sean, who's really stepped up and done a good job this summer and fall, showing his leadership moving forward. I think the experience he had with the Pan American Games, where he played very well in the trials, didn't get to play in the games, as much as he wanted to, I think it was a good experience for him. He's come back hungry and determined to help get us an NCAA tournament this year and hopefully play beyond college.
Is there an aspect of Sean's game that he's been working on since the international experience that you've kind of noticed of him trying to elevate his game?
Yeah, he's worked hard defensively. I think that's an area that he's improved. He's getting low. He's defending the screen and roll a little bit better, protecting the rim better, and running the floor better in general. So he's very skilled offensively, shooting the ball well, and I'm excited to watch him this year. I'm excited to be out there today at practice and also this year to follow his progress and follow his maturity.
Did he grow over the summer? I kept seeing like him being listed as like 6'11" at those camps, and he was 6'9" last year.
We probably hadn't measured him in a while. I'd have to ask Jason Manikowski, who we lost. Jason, I'm not sure if you're aware of Jason, became the head strength coach for the NBDL Fort Wayne Mad Ants last week. So he's headed to Pacers camp tomorrow. Ironically, they play the Magic at home on Wednesday, so we'll get to see EP there. A good homecoming for them. They were very close, and Jason did a great job helping Alfred progress as well as our other players. But Sean has certainly gotten better as a player, and maybe he did grow. He was measured at the trials at 6'11", so his brother said, "Coach, you measured out at 6'11", can we bump him up?" And got with Matt. Matt made the change, and then I guess Tim picked up on it, put it in the paper. Now everybody's talking about, hey, he had a growth spurt. So, but he's a legit 6'10" plus and with a good wingspan.
Coach, as far as Sean improving his outside shooting and continuing to work on that, is there always kind of that balance of wanting him to be able to step out and do that, but also wanting him, hey, we want you by the basket? Is that kind of always a balance, a tug of war, wanting him to have that skill, but also needing him to be effective inside?
Well, he's a versatile player, and by being able to step out, something that we need to take advantage of. He's a good three-point shooter and can really score the basketball, and he's good at facing up. Sometimes he's better off the move or facing up than he is with his back to the basket. If you remember his freshman year when we played and lost by 3 at Michigan State, he stepped out and hit 3 3-pointers in the first half against Derek Nix. I mean, guys don't really want to come out and guard, and post players in general are lazy defenders. And you get a guy like Sean that can really shoot the ball, then if we need a 3-point shot and he's wide open, that's a pretty high percentage shot in my books. And that's why we want to let him get out on the perimeter some. We have to remind him every once in a while to get back inside between the blocks and rebound the ball, because he's an exceptional rebounder, and that's going to be his ticket moving forward.
Bryce Washington proved that he's got a lot of upside with basketball intelligence. Are you guys trying to find different ways to get him involved in the offense this year?
Well, I thought he was pretty involved last year at the end. He did a good job for us, but yes, we'll continue to utilize him and Devontae. We've got 2 good 4-men. Jay Hedgeman can play the 4 as well, and so can Jarika. So a few years ago, we went to the NCAA tournament. We didn't have a solid 4-man by size. Elridge Moore played in there for us, did a great job as an undersized player. But now we've got a plethora of 4-men, seems like, to work with. So we're excited to use all their different skills and see what they can do moving forward.
What's your challenge to and expectations for Stephen Rakowski in the senior season?
Stephen had a good summer, probably his best summer, and we're excited about him. I think he's going to have a great year. Now we've got a lot of competition for minutes. We'll have to see how that plays out, but I look for Steve to have a good year. He's shooting the ball well, and was here all summer with us. First time he's been here the entire summer, and it showed. He really worked hard and got better. Steve's another guy, one of the seniors that's a leader, as I mentioned earlier. And we talked about losing Alfred. These other guys, the seniors are stepping up, but then you've also got some younger guys that can lead also, with Jay Wright, and then Bryce and Jonathan, 2 guys that are leaders in their own right.
Coach, those guys like Hayward register last year who filled a specific role, like a guy that, okay, you're going to come off the bench and, mostly shoot threes, mostly provide scoring. Those guys that filled a specific role last year, have you seen some development in some guys' games where maybe they have expanded things where maybe they've improved in some other areas outside of that specific role?
Certainly hope so. Hayward in particular has worked hard this summer and fall on trying to get to the basket more. And he's got a good mid-range pull-up as well. And he's an excellent three-point shooter and one of the best in our league. And that's something we want him to do. He's also got a little bit better defensively, something that we required him to do. And I'm excited to see how he's going to respond today in practice.
Is that something with him that he earned some starters minutes last year and kind of got a taste of that? Have you seen maybe a little bit of a difference in how he's approached this off season? Maybe with knowing he has a chance to go out there and be a starter every game.
Yeah, he's done a good job. There's going to be competition there for sure, Luke. We got Casey Shepard who played there, made the all-tournament team for us last year in the Sun Belt Championship, and then Hayward can shoot the ball. He's one of the best three-point shooters in our league. And he can get it going in a hurry. He's got a pure jump shot, gets it off quick, and think that he's going to have a good year for us.
Now you got the Cardinals in the NL, but who's in the AL?
Boy, haven't paid much attention to it. I saw a little bit of the Rangers and Angels the other day. It was a pretty good game, but I'm focused on the NL. See what happens Wednesday night. I guess Arrieta's going to pitch Wednesday, so we'll dodge him. And coach was talking about bringing a guy in to visit in 2 weeks, and I told him if we get by the Cubs or the Pirates, I'll be in St. Louis. So that weekend's out.
Anything else?
Looking forward to this year, finishing up with 9 out of 11 victories to finish the year and a loss in the quarterfinals of the CIT. We feel like we've got a chance to have a special year, and the guys are excited. They're anxious to get started. And look forward to speaking to you guys in the future.
Are you still trying to make a trade for Elijah McGuire?
What's that?
Are you still trying to make a trade for Elijah McGuire?
Nah, I don't think so. I told Coach the other day, I think he needs to get in a single wing and snap it to him, let him go with it. I don't know if he can throw, but he can run with it, that's for sure. He can catch it. So, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.